Hello and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I am doing the third part of August's project life. When I've had 4 weeks for August, so it kind of is a bit like I did one kind of page per week, but rather than splitting it up like that, it's kind of based on what events were happening. So this is all from one day. My cousin is from America, and he actually has lived all over the world, but he's from America, lived in America since he was 7 and hasn't been back to the UK, so he really wanted to go to London. So me and my brother took him on a nice trip around London, doing all the sightsee stuff, like going to Big Ben, Camden, Trafalgar Square, the Eiffel Tower, the London Eye, and we went up the London Eye, and we went to Buckingham Palace, and we did the Boris bikes. So we definitely got up to quite a lot on this one day, so I wanted to kind of include them, as it's not very often that you kind of treat your hometown like you're really trying to fit everything in like a tourist would. So that was quite fun, so I wanted to include all of these photos. Here I cut the paper too small, so to rectify that I'm literally just sticking it back together like it would have been, and I don't think you can tell too much. If you watched my last part of this project life, you will have seen that I quite like just cutting the cards and sticking them back together to use up the final 2-inch strip you get left with on a 6x6 paper pad, which is what I've done to this card that I'm currently fiddling with. So because I tend to do that anyway, I kind of just was like, oh well, I'll just stick it back together and cut it again. But then I did flip it so that the cut wouldn't be too close to the edge, because it was only a small amount that I was missing, but it would have been quite noticeable once it was in the page protector. And I have no idea how I managed to do that. I think I was quite tired by this point. It was quite late in the evening. I'd already watched I'm a Celeb, which is a TV show here, so it was quite late to be doing this. So I end up fiddling with these little letter stickers that are from Studio Calico. I really like them. They're just like the perfect size for adding things like this. So I end up faffing around, and then I end up when I peel this star off, because it's so small, I ended up not actually peeling the sticky bit off, and it takes me quite a while to realise that. And then I just use my glue pen, and then I really struggle to actually stick it down, but once I've got it down, it's good, it's in place, and that works quite well. So I'm using the Carta Bella Summer collection again, although I've kind of tried to stick to the blues and then gone for the red kind of theme with it. So I start writing my journaling on this label, and I do finish it, but it wasn't really the whole story, and I was looking at the spread and I had more room on that bottom card to kind of journal. So you can see me fiddling that and going, no, I want to tell more of that story. So basically we were in London doing all the sightseeing. We're actually on the Boris bikes in the bottom row, and my boyfriend's texting me, and I'm like, leave me alone, I'm out for the day. But he was texting me to let me know that all of the trains were getting delayed or cancelled, and he'd messaged me earlier in the day, and I was like, yeah, I'll look at it when we're getting to the point of needing to go. But he was messaging more going, no, Eve, I don't think you understand, all of the trains are being cancelled. You need to get on that there's one train left that hasn't been delayed or cancelled. You need to try and get on it. So we then rush back to King's Cross. There was another hour, I think, until this train, so we probably didn't need to rush back so quickly, but it all of a sudden hit me like, we need to get this train or we're not getting home today. So we all rush back to King's Cross, and then we go and get those pizzas, and we end up having more time than we thought, so we end up being able to sit in and eat those pizzas. And then we're stood in the train station, and I've had this before where all the trains are getting cancelled and it's the only train, and because it was a weekday, obviously there's all of the tourists but also all of the commuters trying to get on this train, so it really is normally just a busy train because it's the first off-peak train, so it's always quite busy. So they hadn't announced the platform, and it was like 1 minute till the train left, and I've been going to the boys for the last 15 minutes. When it goes, like, we're going to have to go there quickly. And then I'm now, for the last 5 minutes, going, when it announces, we have to run, because in King's Cross there's 2 areas where you can go through the ticket barrier. So it's not kind of once you're through the ticket barrier you can guess using train line and like hope. I just didn't want to miss it, so I was like, when it goes, we run. And people spot it before you, and the crowd starts running, you're panicking, scrambling, like, see what it is, and then you just run. And I think they actually loved doing the running, and they just didn't believe me that that's what it's like, because even my brother's never done it. Or been unfortunate enough to have to do it. So I think they quite enjoyed that, but they were definitely tired then. We managed to get seats on the train, so obviously we didn't have to run, we'd have got on the train. But if we'd have been maybe 30 seconds later, we would have been struggling for space. You'd be very crammed and the people stood up. So we were quite lucky, and we managed to sit down. So that was very good. We were very happy with that. And so, yeah, and then I think my cousin ended up falling asleep on the train back. So we were definitely tired out by the end of this day, as we've gone everywhere. So that's kind of the story, and that's why I felt like that first little label wasn't enough. But because it left a scuff mark, I needed to put another label over it. So I just put a little place of what the pizza place was called. And I don't know if anyone else is like this, but I would never know how to Google to find the name of that pizza place. But I'm very good at looking at maps, and so I just kind of zoom into London to King's Cross, and I know which direction we walked. I just kind of seem to be able to do that. If I spend, I need a couple of days in a place, but even we went to San Francisco for 2 weeks, and I'm doing a little travel album for that. So let me know down below if you'd like to see a bit of that. But even with that, I'm zooming in and just like zooming in on the map to find out what things were called. We were only there for 2 weeks. So I definitely think I want to know if anyone else does that, or whether you just have to trust Google to bring up what you're trying to find. So yeah, then I'll start talking a bit more about what I'm doing. But it is very simple. It is all the Carta Bella Summer collection, like has been in my last few videos. It is all from the 6x6 paper pad and the sticker book, and then these little word phrases are a paper in the 6x6 mega paper pad. It is the mega one. So I'm just going through and adding in quite a few of those. I've also gone in and added little label stickers that I've made on my Cricut, and just put the locations of everywhere. I mean, I know that I will know where all of those places are, but I just thought it was quite fun to add, because I knew that I have these little wooden embellishments that are little like place tags. So I thought it was quite fun to add one of those to all of the different places that we went to, and kind of more just make it seem like a bucket list of everything that we did. The day went very smoothly, and apart from the train struggles at the end, and we kind of just went round, and my plan worked for everything. We went up in the London Eye, which I haven't done since for 10 years. I was 13 when I did it before. So it was quite fun to do again. My brother had never done it either, because he is scared of heights, but decided that he kind of had to do it, and he wasn't actually that scared once he was up there. But I think it was more the thought that it was worse than the actual doing it. So that was quite fun, and it's kind of a bit underwhelming, I feel like, especially going without a proper adult that knows, like, although I know all of the London things, I don't think I actually know the geography of London that well. So I couldn't point at a building and tell you what it is. So we were kind of listening in to this older couple that were with their grandkids, and them explaining what all the buildings were, and I was quite enjoying listening to them go, oh, that's that building and that's what happens in that building, and I was going, oh, thank you for letting me know what that is. So that made it a bit nicer to kind of understand what I was seeing. So I am just going around and faffing, sticking all of these down. I've also used a couple of the stickers off the puffy sticker sheet, the collection that I still haven't figured out the name of. But I've used the cereal bowl on a picture of Camden, because there is a serial killers. Is that in Camden? I think it's in Camden. There's a serial killers cafe, and they just sell cereals. So I thought, well, I'm never going to use a bowl of cereal, so that can go on that. and then the suitcase just because it's kind of like travel related. And then I'm just going around with my Posca paint pen. I wanted to add some splattery bits, but I've tried to stay away from using any gold or metallics on this month, so I've gone for the pink, and I just go round. Then I think I add some dots because it's still not quite looking done, and I think these don't look good, but oh well. I sometimes think I need to just learn when to stop, because it is a kind of bit like, no, smaller bits, but it looks perfectly fine. It's just when I've been looking at it for too long, I think it's not finished. So yeah, let me know what your favourite kind of sprinkly bit at the end is. Normally I love a little heart or star punched out shape, but went for the Posca paint pens today. So if you enjoyed this video and it was a bit different, let me know down below. How do you kind of include days like this into your project life or scrapbook? Like, do you just kind of let it take over like this, or would you just kind of pick out a couple of photos that represented the day? Just let me know how you tend to do that down below. If you liked it, please consider giving the video a thumbs up and subscribing, and I will see you in my next video.